Oof, this feels like an entire decade since I last did one. Welcome everybody to the top 10 best winter 2021 anime of all time. Back on the old channel, I used to give my opinions on anime after the first episodes of each show air every season. This time around, I decided to wait a bit more to get a better glance at everything, watching more than just the first episode of each. Generally, for seasonal lists, we do new IPs first, and the sequel in a backup list. This time around, sequels have absolutely dominated, and there's barely a handful of new IPs worth mentioning. So I decided to crunch everything together into a traditional top 10, which may end up cutting more out, but I'll try to mention everything that may be worth your interest regardless. Let's start off with number 10. At number 10, Cells at Work Season 2 or Cells at Work Black. If you know my legacy on YouTube ever since Cells at Work Season 1 came out in 2018, I haven't shut up about it. So you must understand how top tier the rest of these picks on this list are. For me to relegate Cells at Work Season 2 all the way back to number 10? So not only does this time around we get a Season 2 of the beloved cells in the body working hard at keeping you alive, but we also have a brand new spinoff called Black. With this absolute spicy mama UC1196, please step on me, you Samus Aran lookalike smoking hottie. Sorry, got distracted. So if Cells at Work is the work environment in an ideal body, Black is the counterpart of what would happen if, well, you're a piece of shit that smokes, drink, have AIDS, and probably 2 or 3 organ failures on your way. The show bridges comedy and information flawlessly in this portmanteau word called infotainment. It's an absolute gem of a show, and you should definitely get on it if you haven't so far. Number 9, Promise to Neverland Season 2, and if you look to your left, you will see what we like to call in the business a big bowl of yikes. I think everyone has the same opinion than me, but after watching several episodes, can I say it? What a freaking letdown compared to Season 1. It still deserves to be on the top 10 list, but they better rally back up. Okay, so after escaping from the orphanage, Emma and Ray find themselves lost behind the border with a group of toddlers they have to care for while being pursued by demons still hunting them. The show used to be about wits battle, and now it's kind of turned into a proper survival. They dialed up the mystery, and I feel lost within limbo anytime I'm watching an episode. You want me to believe a 4-year-old kid can outrun being chased? My daughter still loses her balance after doing a 360 on herself. I don't buy it. However, I will admit that the new opening does slap a lot. Number 8, Kimono Jihen. Kimono Jihen is equally good on a technical delivery, but when it comes down to my personal enjoyment of it, I realized that while it was good, it's probably not for me. That being said, this is coming from a guy who didn't get hooked in the first episodes and fully realized that episode 2 and onward is definitely not what they led up with. But being pressed for time, the setup for episode 1 left me a bit lukewarm in terms of character appreciation and overall ambient setting. The story focused on a little boy from the Boondocks who's half demon. After getting recruited by a detective agency, they try to blend in a bustling city of Tokyo while taking on some supernatural cases. If you like Bungo Stray Dogs, you're gonna be thrilled by this one. Reminds me a lot of that show mixed with Mob Psycho. I don't know. Lots of potential, but a slow start definitely. Number 7, Skate the Infinity. I'm positively mesmerized by this anime. The premise is about a secret race skateboarders go to where you bet your skills against another rider. Main character is fairly good skater who works in a skate shop but suddenly crosses paths with a transfer student from Canada who's looking for a part-time job. Somehow, they end up befriending each other, and one night, as they have to deliver a skateboard to the secret race, new Canadian transfer students ends up having to ride in their place. Turns out he doesn't know how to skate, but he knows about snowboarding. So he tries to apply his skill to skateboarding, and he has to learn on the fly. Pun intended. The show is beautiful visually and the soundtrack complements it flawlessly. It gives me about the same excitement vibe that I had watching Air Gear. Remember that show? I cannot wait to see where Skate is gonna finish up to. Number 6. ReZero Season 2 Part 2, Log Horizon Season 2, Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2, Beer Star Season 2, Eurocamp Season 2, Quintessential Quintuplet Season 2, World Trigger Season 2, Non Biori sequels, and so many more. They are all stunning animes, and depending on your personal taste, they would deserve a spot on the top 10, so use number 6 as your blank card to shove whichever title you think deserves to be here, so you can back off of my dick slowly with your hands up. The thing is, all these sequels are great. They're just more of the same goodness from their previous season, and anyone is gonna tell you the same. Thing is, I haven't finished any of these shows' previous seasons myself, so I don't have a proper opinion to give you on any of them, aside from that people love them a lot. Up to you to decide if that's good enough, but every single sequel here is charted at an 8 out of 10 or above on Mal, so that should influence your vote a little bit. Number 5, Dr. Stone Season 2, The Stone Wars, the only sequel aside from another obvious one that I think separates itself from the rest of the pack. Season 1 ended with a cliffhanger where Senku and Tsukasa were about to enter a full-fledged war against one another. Season 2 picks up with a very quick recap that sends you right back in the hot water. It's everything Season 1 was, but faster with less need for exposition and more crazy invention. Now that they have already taken care of gathering the basic material, the pacing can resume. Dr. Stone being an unconventional battle shonen, its biggest appeal are, well, the creation Senku comes up with, so having these hand out amidst battle and story progression, you really couldn't ask for more. A great show I'm gonna unfortunately binge weekly now that it has sucked me back in it. Number 4, Jobless Reincarnation. This show has me absolutely pogged out of my mind. It's the one I'm most excited to watch every week since it launched, and if you know me, oh, you know I hate isekai anime. But this is a prime example of how to do it right. It's the reason why it's on the list, and Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2 just has a side mention. Yet they have the same premise. Guy gets killed and start over in a new world with his consciousness still around from his previous life, except instead of being a slime, he's a little boy who gets to learn about magic. And instead of being OP, he has to learn to control magic. His character has death, he has flaws, trauma he must work through, and sure, he gets good with his skill, but instead of just having it gave to him, he has to work hard for it. This is the exact reason why I love Shield Hero. If you're gonna make your protagonist OP, balance him out with something else. Very much love Jobless Reincarnation so far. I devour every episode as soon as they come out, and I cannot wait for more. Number 3, Horimiya. This show is nothing shy of genius, and it absolutely pains me to put it at number 3 when it deserves the first spot. A show about essentially, don't judge a book by its cover. Popular girl who's really smart lives a double life as a caretaker for her younger brother, while her mom is always working overtime, and she starts bonding with a classmate who seems quite nerdy on the surface, but is actually a gangster. I mean, kinda. The cast is an absolute delight. It's the best written characters I have had the opportunity to see in such a long time. Generally, rom-com have one-dimensional cast. Here they manage to make you care about every single character while keeping the male appeal on the core duo. This show makes me laugh out loud, it tugs on my heart, it has fucking relationship progression. There's no cheap drama, misunderstanding are cleared out fast, and it feels like an actual believable romance. Alright, I'll calm down. But just so you know my investment, I'm putting this anime up with Tsuki ga Kirei and Kanata no Astra. Prepare for me to never shut up about it in the upcoming months. Number 2, Wonder Egg Priority. Okay, I don't really know how to address this anime, but you know when you see a masterpiece you can kind of tell from the start? I'm not talking about like, wow, I really enjoyed that was entertaining. I'm talking about this touches you on an emotional, spiritual level. Like Madoka Magica, like Black Rock Shooter, like Flip Flappers. This is Wonder Egg Priority for me. There's something truly whimsical about the show. Its cryptic atmosphere, its absolutely gorgeous visual, the dark ambience contrasts with vivid colors, eerie feelings, just the right amount of mystery to keep you guessing, embellished by jaw-dropping sensory overflow. Mark my word, this is an anime that's special and will definitely leave a mark on the community, and if not, well, fuck all y'all, you're the one missing out. And finally, the number 1 best anime of the season, Redo of Healer. I'm joking, kinda. Everyone knows it's Attack on Titan, but I gotta spice it up a little bit and talk about this fucking show first before everyone moves on and it gets rightfully buried in the abyss where it belongs. Redo of Healer is a wild card, the wildest of cardist. On one side, I praise it for pushing the limit in a similar way that Interspecies Reviewer did, and on purely a technical standpoint, the show is good. The voice actor who does Flare, mwah, chef's kiss. That rape scream, so legit. Totally believable. And well, on the other side, the story itself is an absolute mess. It's an edgy teenager's wet dream plot on revenge with no purpose besides being shocking for the sake of shock. Episode 2 is 20 minutes pure rape. Yep. You're essentially one close-up away of turning this into a hentai, which would by then be the most AAA quality hentai ever made. But again, not the point. The characters are flat and erratically switching their mind whenever it's convenient for the plot. The story is kind of not much more than an afterthought shower of make-believe heroism, which is kind of pitiful in itself. TLDR, it's kind of dumb, it's provocative, and it should not exist. Now for the real number 1, obviously, Attack on Titan, the finale. It's a bit of a dead giveaway. Everyone and their grandma can now recognize the absolute crusade that is this anime. I'm not sure if it will ever be topped by something else, in all honesty. Well, time will tell. So, of course, the finale is still just as banging as the previous one, with one minor hic, or some people would say. If you're unaware, up until now, Attack on Titan was produced by the animation studio called Wit Studio, which are regarded as one of the most prime quality studio around. And well, for the last season though, the job has been relegated to MAPPA, which had some pretty big shoes to fill in. Not that they can't deliver, they made Banana Fish, Hajime no Ippo Rising, and just last season they did Jujutsu Kaisen, but people have the audacity to complain about CGI? Makes my blood boil. Show's amazing, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Start from the beginning if it's the first time you hear about this title and be ready to get your mind blown away. GG, no re. So these are the most remarkable shows around for me this season. If you like this video, would you mind pushing it up the YouTube algorithm with a thumbs up? And hit me with a subscription if you haven't already. It's the best way to get my video as soon as they're out. Thanks again for the support. I've been slow on delivery of the videos, but that's mostly due to the fact that I stream a lot on Twitch now. So if you'd like to come hang out at some point, I usually have less than 100 viewers at the same time. We can chat about anything you like. Or we've got a Discord too. Anyway, I've wasted enough of your time. Hope you found something good to watch this season. And if not, well, how about you check out my cooking show, Chronexia's Cookery. I think you'll like it. I'll see you soon. And don't forget, I love you times infinity.
The hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.